from
For
the
someone who
beginning.
loves PowerPoint so much, I really don't know how to use it.
There you go.
Is this supposed to? Okay.
I'm
So
gonna take your picture just a second.
Do you want to pull that door shut?
do I look okay?
You look great.
Amanda is on her way down.
Let's take that. Where's one of these?
Over there, yes, we can see the title.
So should we wait for Amanda?
Let's give her another second because she did text on my way down. And while she's on her way down, just like anyone who's not been on the panel before, this is a celebration of senior work. So year-long work on something that they were passionate about. So Anthony chose a very unique topic that, of course, as a historian, I love too. But he has really taken off with this, and you all just like sit back and enjoy. And then at the end, we'll have a dialogue about any questions or comments you have on it. Okay. There's Amanda.
Hey Amanda.
Hello.
Continue.
Yes.
Sorry about that. All right. So my advocacy project is called Uncommon Louisville. What am I doing?
There you go.
So the amount of places that aren't appreciated, places that are in danger of being forgotten, demolished, or both, is ever growing. Just taking a closer look at the city around you and reveals all sorts of different places that you might not, notice. My mission here is to catalog and research all these different businesses or locations and landmarks that if you do a quick Google search, you won't find anything. So I'm taking it upon myself to try and I've created a website to put all my stuff together. And why did I choose this topic? I always like noticing less noticed things. Often when it's warm, I'll go out biking around the city, and I love taking pictures. And when Liz brought up the advocacy projects, I felt inclined to pull together my work and catalog different places, like Shaheen's department store. It's been operating since the 40s. And Shippingport Island these are just samples. We'll get to all the different places in the websites. So, and what have we done? I don't have it printed out, but I have it I can bring it up on the flash drive. I've drafted a potential bill that would help the public voice their opinion on endangered state-owned property specifically. Because you'd be surprised how many different locations the state owns, and often they don't know what to do with it, or they're like, oh, let's just build something over it. And if it could get passed, it would require the state to pretty much put out a poll and ask the local area what they would like to do with it. Because I think that public opinion is important to government decisions. And we're going to take a look at my website that I've been working on. I have...
Use the laptop to click on it.
Okay. Is the mouse working?
Yeah, we can see it.
It's just not on yours. Yeah. Oh, because you're on a flash drive. Go back. Yeah, maybe try and click it on the screen. He's on a flash drive. No. Can you click
Try
the link?
touching and holding on the link. Touch and hold on the link.
No, it opened up here.
Oh, it did?
But it's not showing. Should I? Okay, maybe I should get out of the
Oh, yeah. Maybe get out of the presentation and then we can see. There you go.
So, on my website page, there's I think about 17 articles of different places, and we're just going to take a look at a few. So, on 147 North Clay Street, my sister, we took her to a skate park, Louis Armstrong skate park, and I was walking around the downtown area, and I came across this odd-looking building. What could this be? And it only had the street address. So I did a lot of research, and it turns out this was a subsidiary of Louis Trout Dairy that was founded in Newport in 1920. And Trout Dairy was a huge dairy operation in Kentucky. And I did some research, and I found out the year that their website started redirecting to Dean Foods. I used the Wayback Archive machine on the website, and Trout Dairy's assets were acquired by Ryder Dairy, which was subsequently acquired by Dean Foods. You've heard of Dean Milk. So, and this is a Google photo of when the plant was still in operation. And, well, it's just a closed subsidiary plant. And that's what I've been doing. I look at different places and try to do as much work on it as I can. Like, has anyone heard of the Downtown Recording Studio? I was walking around downtown, and I saw the Downtown Recording Studio, and it's just this building sandwiched between the skyscrapers. And I took some photos of the front, and I did a lot of research, and it's a recording studio downtown that has a long history, and actually used to be a women's department store in the 1930s, and it got remodeled. And so if you, like, keep moving, does anyone know we had a McCrory location here? McCrory was a dime and nickel, line of shops that was founded in Scottsdale, Pennsylvania, and we had one here, but it closed in 1981 because they couldn't keep up with the rent. And so there's all sorts of places, like this is the Herrick Electric Company building, and this one's really funny. Well, it's not really funny, but it's odd because it was an electric corporation building that was founded in the 1930s and serviced the Smoketown area, but it closed down in the 80s and 90s. Jordan Herrick, who's from, where is it, Connecticut, actually bought the company's name and opened his own electric corporation in Connecticut, and I just thought that was really weird, and that's not something you typically find out. And all these buildings, all these places, they have hardly any information online about them, and that's what I've been trying to do and catalog. So if you want to take, so I have a lot more articles, so I don't know if we should go through them all. What do you think of this?
No, I mean, I'm just
This is the
fascinated.
most fascinating thing I've seen.
I'm impressed.
Even including watching Endgame. I'm more fascinated with this,
Thanks.
Anthony. Keep going.
Like an In-N-Out Dairy Mart used to be In-N-Out used to be a really popular chain of dairy, of like convenience stores in the 70s, but the name was bought and then it was discontinued. But oddly, this specific location on Portland Avenue still operates as a little convenience store. And then the Shippingport Island. Does anyone know about Shippingport Island? It's a big island just off the Portland area. We're over here, on the map. And it's an island that historically has been used as a port. And Louisville's famous for its shipping. And in the past, they would unload stuff here. And now it's a bird conservatory. And there's the hydroelectric dam is around here, and it produces electricity for the area. These are some pictures of the area that I took. All the pictures I've taken, because that's what I like photography. So, and it used to be a port town. Now it's just a bird conservatory. And I saw Shaheen's earlier, and it's an old department store that's been in operation since 1922. And yeah, this specific segment of Portland, the Portland area is fascinating because the buildings there haven't had the money to develop, so most of them are old buildings that haven't had any, they haven't been remodeled, they haven't been updated. Like in downtown, you see the old buildings along with new skyscrapers, but in the Portland area, it's really interesting, the historical value. And that's about all the articles that I have shown today. If you look at the other pages on the website, on the side, I have a gallery of all the images that I've taken on here. If you want to look through them, this is the. I didn't get an article on this one yet, but the James Bros. It was a hardware store, and then Ace Hardware came along and bought it, but they still allowed them to use the name. And the brothers still operate this, branch of the business. There's lots of different. That's Shippingport. This is Shippingport. I've taken these ones. That's the bridge over to Shippingport. There's the boat that you saw earlier. I didn't get to touch on this one yet, but Quick Silk Books and Coffee is a coffee and art gallery in the Portland area, and you can follow their Instagram at Quick Silk Coffee. The Portland Printing Press. These are all just In-N-Out Dairy Mart. The Portland Mural, Shaheen's. That's a demo, sorry. Oh, it's just cycling. And that's a gallery. The Mission, and I've included on my website a mission about cataloging different places, and I have a contact page on the website if you want to message me, email. And do you want to take a look at the bill?
Sure.
that I made? It's not super impressive, but it's good. Bill to gauge public approval on state-owned properties. And so, like, and it would require the local government to take a community poll regarding the future of state-owned piece of property, land. And it's really just to try to give more influence of the community over different places that you might be passionate about or have a history with. And I had to actually look up how to write a bill. So you have to, in writing a bill, you have to introduce it and state what it does, and then talk about who or what is applicable to it. And that's called eligibility. And then rules and provisions is how it's executed. And that's how you put together a bill. And I've done that for this, and I'm thinking of sending it into the Louisville City Council. I don't know if they're too busy.
No.
And I don't have it cohesively put on the presentation, but the National Register of Historic Places, the NRHP, is America's largest and oldest historical society. And you can actually go to their website and fill out a form to request for free a building or a landmark you want to be registered as a historical place. And if you, did I touch on the Merchant's Ice Tower?
No.
Okay, I'll find the article. Where is it? Merchant's Ice Tower. I had it down here. Right before the fair. Merchant's Ice Tower. And it was built in 1881, and it's a 13th floor, originally a cold storage plant. So when the ships would come in and ship all that stuff, a lot of like perishables and cold items were held here in an ice tower. It's called the Merchant's Ice Tower. But for the past good while, about 40, 50 years, it's sat in foreclosure, and there have been multiple buyers, but they all dropped out. It was originally, in 2010, it was supposed to turn into a nursing facility, but that never panned out. So right now it just stands for demolition, and I'm going to fill out a form and try to get this thing registered as a historic place, because it's very old and is it's representative of Louisville's historic shipping trade economy. And, you know, that's about all I can show for you guys today.
Anthony, if you would do this and create like a coffee table book that had different areas of Louisville, I mean, I would probably pay $75 to buy. But that's what they cost. Like, that's what it costs for a book like that. You know,
because they're hard and they're glossy.
Well, I think
I mean,
it's
this
good
is so fascinating. I think people would buy it for real.
I don't know. I the whole point is getting the information out there, and
Yeah.
having it for free online is the first step.
But it also, I think, when you think about like our self-directed pillars and empathy, and a lot of times we think about empathy with people or empathy with animals. Empathy, even with historic places in your community, I think a lot of times people don't have empathy for that, and putting that out there would really develop that in the community.
And you say that you want it to be free online, and I think that's great, and you can continue to do that. But I think what Angela is, you've got a whole different audience of people who would like this. I mean, it's a talking point. People have things on their coffee tables to be a talking point, and that's something. To have keep it on right. And it's not a matter of let me just pull this up, which we do a lot of. When we pull this up online, it's something. It's like a sitting piece. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
And just like, you have so many talents here, because not only did you take beautiful pictures, like, whoa, is that something you're going into?
Oh,
Are you,
I'm going into education
Yeah.
and communication,
yeah.
but I also want to be a photographer and a journalist. But I also
Communication
I have a lot of
photography
different
is
things
beautiful.
that I like doing.
Oh my gosh, well, stay with this passion because you are good at it. And then digging deeper, because I feel like so many of us, we walk around and we're like, oh, I see that and I see that, but I do no further digging. I just like go on with my bubble life, you know, and I like that you're digging and like trying to find answers and keep stories alive. And I think you could also do this with people, you know, like, especially our elderly community, you know, like just keeping stories alive is important. Because I think we lose that in this social media age where people are like, what's the latest? Okay, moving on. You know, like.
Well, I'm actually planning to make an Instagram for this because I want to reach a wider audience. And a website's good and all, and it's cohesive, but Instagram is more accessible to a lot of people, so I'll be doing that. And
You've done great work on this.
You put in a lot more than 15 hours on this. How much time do you think you put in?
oh, I have to get in my proof. It's in my folder.
Well, this is also.
Yeah, but
This is obvious.
You
Just
want
you can
sign
see that
proof,
you're out.
so I would give you that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't want to give myself too much credit, so I will give myself like 16 hours, 17 hours.
That's great.
Oh,
And it seems like something that you're going to stick to.
oh yeah, I have a lot more places that I need to catalog.
Yeah.
Because I know of a lot of places, you can only do so many at a time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be moving forward doing more.
I wonder, like, if, and I think I've told you before, like the Wilson Historical Society,
yeah.
like a lot of Louisville places, Louisville Historical,
Mhm.
I think would be very interested in your work and your photography. So if you're looking for work, internships, or because I did an internship there in undergrad, you know, like reach out because they would have very high interest in the work you're doing. So,
I'm flattered.
well, should be.
Thanks.
Juniors in here, what takeaways do you
I have
have?
questions.
Good.
Okay. Do you believe the gentrification of Louisville is making the city less uncommon?
I think so, because as I said, demolition is a big deal, and restoring places is a costly effort, and a lot of people will go ahead and just build a subdivision or mall over it. And yeah, gentrification is a big problem in a lot of cities, and it's happening here too. So,
I have
yes.
more questions.
Yes.
Do you know if any of these uncommon places are or were kind of cultural sites for people of color?
I must have failed it. I don't think I took race into relation to that. A lot of these are just older businesses. You know, I'm sure there is some. That's a good topic. I'll research more into that. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just really quick, can you like restate your purpose and like bringing like the uncommon places?
It's mostly about researching information and making it accessible to people, and also advocating to not have them just run over and demolished, and instead trying to, at the minimum, preserve it.
Okay.
So, would you say
So
that's anti-gentrification?
I feel like it
Or-
definitely relates to gentrification, but it's not directly anti-gentrification. Because gentrification, sometimes it takes a historic place and like pretties it up and makes it like a higher end living space or
Yeah.
cultural space. So gentrification can help preserve these places or help demolish them with both negative and positive effects that gentrification brings. Yes.
I would love for you to make a connection with Dr. Tom Owen. Do you know who that is? He's been on the Metro Council, but he's a professor at U of L, and his special area is in Louisville's history.
Okay.
And he does free walking tours, like on Wednesdays, you can meet him and go on a walking tour. And he also does bus tours around the city. And I've went on walking tours and been on bus tours with him. He can even give you the history of, like the water mains and how big they are. And I mean, it's like absolutely amazing. And which streets oxen used to go down. And Tom Owen, you
Okay.
really need to connect with this person.
I'll
I think
keep that in mind.
you all would just have a lot in common, I think.
Well, for that extra 15 points, I still need to show Liz my sources.
Khadijah, did you have more questions? Yeah.
So is your purpose to garner the support of the community to preserve the sites, or to have the sites potentially repurposed, like, for example, like a homeless shelter?
Oh, definitely. Repurposing is a big part in preservation, finding new uses for historic places. And some of these businesses are still in business, but I think that some of these places can definitely be turned to cultural centers or, businesses for people. Yeah. Any more questions?
I wanted to challenge you a little bit. Like, do you think that your purpose and your project is inclusive of other communities?
I don't know how to phrase that because I definitely want to be inclusive of the communities, although when you're cataloging historic sites, I guess I failed to take into account how it could be used for other communities. So yeah, I can work on that.
And by other communities, sometimes we have to define that. Are you talking about socioeconomically? Are we talking race? Are we talking
Just
all
geographic. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah, where did the majority of your pictures, I heard you talk a lot about Portland and the downtown area. Is that just like your focus? Because
It's the places I frequent a lot, yeah. And they're hotspots for historical places that haven't, because if you look at it, downtown, the East End, and Southeastern End, they've largely been gentrified and they've largely been restructured over. So you actually have a lacking of historical places. But what's interesting about the downtown area and the Portland area and the Smoketown area is because a lot of these places are not places of economic wealth and investment. So ironically, that lack of attention has allowed these places to continue existing, even if it's in a less than good state. Because a lot of places otherwise have just already been demolished and already been built over. So it's a dichotomy. Interesting.
Sean, you got takeaways? Just about, you don't have to ask questions, just like, what do you take away from the advocacy panels and potential for next year?
I think it's just a really good source of gathering information together and putting it out there and demonstrating what you learned and how you put it together. But as of this one, like in particular, I don't know, I just really like how he's gathering information and making it like readily available for everybody. And just so it doesn't die off, keeps everything living.
Thanks.
Very cool project.
Thanks, Liz.
Congratulations.
Thank you all for coming.
Do you want to introduce your panel member?
That's my dad.
Did he get to see you take all these photos?
Sometimes.
No, this
Other
explains
times, okay, sometimes I was there. Sometimes I just go off on my own and
Yeah.
do it. 'Cause
this explains the disappearances for hours on end.
Well, and I've seen him riding his bike and
On his
different,
bike,
like on
yeah.
Dixie Highway and
I go
different parts
all
of it.
over.
I've seen you all over the place.
I love cycling. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you all for being here. And hopefully I'll see you on Monday too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll look some at these.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Sean,
get it
I
has
could
my
have